The two boys over there could see me at recess. So the Gemara tells us that there was a man named Reb Tavyumi. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And Reb Tavyumi decided to move to the city of Kushta. What could be better than to live in such a town? He got married and he had two sons. We'll call the sons Shmuel and Beryl. I don't know what their real name was, but we'll call them Shmuel and Beryl. And it turns out Reb Tavyumi was happy living in such a city without tragedies. I bet they didn't even have a hospital in that city. I bet they didn't even have a hospital. A hospital is to cure people who are sick. But if everyone lived till a long age, to an old age, and then they died, so they didn't need a hospital probably. It was an amazing city. I don't even know where the city was. Maybe it was in one of the cities of Eretz Yisrael or Bavel. And it turns out, one day, tragedy struck. His wife was taking a shampooing on her hair. I guess she was taking a shower in a bucket with shampoo. And a neighbor came to speak to her. And he didn't feel comfortable saying, my wife is shampooing her hair. So he lied. He forgot that you don't lie in this city. And he says, oh, my wife's not here. Like some kids on the telephone. Oh, yeah, mom's not here. Yeah, right. Right over there. You're not supposed to say that. You could say she's not available. You don't lie. And he lied. He was the only one who lied in a city that nobody lied in. And suddenly, his two sons died. I'm not sure what happened to them. Maybe they fell off a roof. Maybe they drowned. Maybe they got eaten by a bear. I'm not sure. The Gemara doesn't say how they died. But you know what? People came running. Hatzalah came. I bet they didn't even have Hatzalah there. And then people came running to the house. And they said to him, naughty man, it's your fault. If death came to the town, now can you imagine that? You would have thought they came to him and said, oh, he was so sorry. Hamaki minachem eschem. They would have comforted. No, they came screaming at him. And they said, what did you do that you caused the Malach HaMavis to visit the city? Don't you know he's not welcome in this city? Don't you know the Satan, the angel of death, doesn't come here except when people are very old? They said to him, what did you do? And he didn't even know what he did. And then he realized, oh, I lied. I said that my wife is not here when she was here, but she was taking a bath, whatever. Because he wasn't careful in his mouth, Rachmana litzlan, death came to the city. So the people of the city said to him, please leave our town. We don't want you to bring any more death to this city. And they actually kicked him out of the city. Poor guy. He was probably a tzaddik and a rabbi, but he made a mistake. What do we learn from this city? What do we learn from this story? You want a zchus for the new year? Watch your mouth. Don't say a lie. The city of Kushta lived long because he didn't lie. It's not easy. Sometimes you want to lie. Train yourself not to lie.
Why is it not there anymore?
Why is the city not there anymore? Probably because so many people lied that the Malach HaMavis moved in. In other words, not everyone could be on such a level. Raise your hand if you never lied in your life. Raise your other hand if you're lying right now. Okay, let's work on the midah of emet. And Hashem should bless everyone with a long, happy life, without tragedy, without sickness, without accident, without problems. We learn in the Torah a lot of good midos. Midos means how we should be kind, not mean. We should be energetic, not lazy. I'll give you an example. Let's say your mother goes out to a wedding or a bar mitzvah and she leaves you at home. So you have two choices. You could play the whole time, or you could actually say, you know what? Let me clean up a closet for mommy. This closet looks like it's really in need of some attention. Or maybe the floor looks really messy. So when mommy comes home, she'll either be in a very good mood or in a very bad mood. And she sees that the olam cleaned up. She says, Baruch Hashem, my children have good chinuch. They were taught well, they're not lazy. But if she sees the place is flying, then she says, oh, my children Don't they care about me all day? I'm in the house cleaning and cooking. And so midos means that you care for other people. Now really the word midos means measurements. Because there's a measurement. You should have some compassion for others. Not too much, not too little, just the right amount. So I want to tell you a story that happened recently. We had an incident that my grandmother, Mrs. Masselton, has an aide. The aide comes to the house and basically is in charge of helping my grandmother. It's not the same maid all day. It's actually like 4 or 5 of them. Some work just during the day, some work just during the night. And we noticed that when a certain nurse was there, money kept on being stolen. First, my wife was missing $250. She asked me, did I take it? I said, no, I didn't take it. She didn't know what happened. Then my daughter was missing from her apartment in the same building, $700. Oy vey, who could have stole so much money? We didn't know. Then my uncle, Rabbi Masselton, came, and from his pocket was stolen also hundreds or thousands of dollars that wasn't even his money. It was the kollel's money or the shul's money, and he had it in his pocket to put in the bank. Couldn't understand. Then my sister-in-law Adina came to visit, and all of a sudden, $300 disappeared. Something was very strange. My wife realized there was a certain pattern. The money was always missing on the day where that certain aide or nurse was there in the house. So we called Shomrim. Shomrim is like the Jewish police in Brooklyn. And we asked them, what should we do? They said, we'll send over 2 video cameras. And you'll hide the video cameras. And if you catch her stealing again, then we could tell her, listen, please return the money, or we're going to have to call the police, and they might arrest you. So that's what we did. They came and they brought to the house a little clock, but the clock was really a video camera. When you look at it, you think you're looking at a clock. But in the clock was a little hole, and that little hole was actually the eye videoing the room. So my wife put a purse with some money in it in front of the video camera. And she was hoping the lady would help herself and we'd catch her in the act of stealing. But guess what? She didn't steal that time. Maybe she felt as if she was being watched. See, some people, they're not afraid that Hashem's watching them. They're only afraid if people catch them. But that's very bad. We have to always be aware that Hashem is here. Hashem is so close to us. Hashem is watching everything we do. And He's keeping a record. When you fear Him, when you serve Him, when you sing to Him, when you daven to Him, when you learn Torah, when you do mitzvahs, He keeps a record. Kind of like He gives checks. And then, if you do averis, like stealing or other things, He can make an X. And after a certain amount of checks, He might send you a big reward. Or a certain amount of X's, maybe a big punishment. If you don't see it in this world, don't worry, Hashem has all the time. He can take care of the balance in the next world. There's a place called Gan Eden, which is more geschmack than anything in the universe that you could think of. And there's a place called Gehenim, which is shreklach, worse than anything you could think of. And the checks get to go over there, and the X's get to go over there. I once was thinking that as much as I love Gan Eden, I thought to myself, I don't need the Gan Eden as much as I just don't want to be in Gehenim. But really, Hashem has reward and punishment. And I once heard that the biggest Gehenim is not being in Gan Eden. If you realize how Geshmak Gan Eden is, a person who's not in Gan Eden, that already is Gehenim. Imagine everyone's having fun at a party, and you're stuck outside. The building's locked, you can't get in. To enjoy the cake, to enjoy the ice cream, to enjoy the donuts, to enjoy the soda and the candy. In Gan Eden, of course, it's much more different than food, but it's much more geschmack too. So getting back to the story, Shomrim set up 2 cameras. I felt a little weird because the camera was actually videoing on Shabbos. I didn't know what to do. I forgot to turn it off. Kind of weird walking in front of a video camera on Shabbos. But I didn't see my picture on it. The camera does 20 hours of videoing, and then it erases and starts over. In other words, the memory stick that goes into the video camera, it can't video forever. You know how much memory you need for the machine to have to video? It videos like basically a day, then it erases and starts over. So if the guy steals the money, you have to catch it before it erases it. So anyway, it was on Shabbos. The next Shabbos, I turned it facing the wall. I didn't want to have the video camera working on Shabbos. But then I said to my wife, so tell me, Malki, did we catch the Ganav yet? And my wife says, no, we didn't catch her, but I spoke to her. So you spoke to her? She said, yes. I explained to her that really you're such a good worker. We love how you take care of Grandma, but our husbands work so hard. And for us to be losing money because someone needs money, so they take the money, it's not fair. The husbands work so hard to make $1. And we really appreciate if you could return any money that may have been taken. And I'm not going to tell the police because I don't want to do that to you. You're such a nice person. You helped my grandmother so much. The lady was quiet. And then she said, thank you for handling it this way. You're a very nice person. You could have really screamed at me. And I appreciate it. I'm going to try from now on. Every week when I get my salary check, I'm going to put aside $20 in an envelope and I'm going to give it to you. So my wife said to her, yeah, that's the great idea. That's what I was wanting. Every week, put aside $20 from your paycheck and you'll pay back the missing money. And just this week, the lady handed my wife an envelope of $30. And she said, here, this is towards the money that I stole. I wanted to say we could learn this good midah of not screaming at someone, not embarrassing someone, not getting angry at someone, like we could have got angry at this woman. But we learned this from Yaakov Avinu. Lavan says to Yaakov, why did you steal my children and leave? Now, who was the one that was really stealing the whole time? Lavan. Lavan kept on changing the deal that he made with Yaakov. Lavan was the crook. And he says to Yaakov, why did you steal my children? So it turns out that Yaakov didn't get angry. He didn't get angry. And he could have got angry at him. Didn't get angry at his shver. Could learn from here. Could handle sometimes things better in a calm, cool, and collected way, and not in a way that's angry. Perhaps if my wife got angry at the Ganav, she wouldn't have wanted to return the money. But because she spoke to her softly and nicely, so in the end, she was able to do this. And that's a big rule in life. Don't scream at people. Speak softly. And you'll see they'll want to listen to you more.
Get the bench.
Okay. No, just push the red button. We all know the pasuk, V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, which means love your fellow Jew just like you love yourself. But to define that a little better, don't hurt other people's feelings. It's very hard to love somebody like I love myself. That's really hard because you love yourself tons. How do you love someone? So to understand what that's truly asking us, the Torah is asking us, just like you don't want anyone to hurt your feelings, you shouldn't hurt theirs. I want to share with you 2 stories. One about a child whose feelings were almost hurt, but it took a tzaddik to think how not to hurt that child's feelings. And the other story is a story where someone might have hurt someone's feelings, but you know what? Before you think that he was a bad person for hurting his feelings, find out the whole story, and maybe you'll see that it wasn't so bad after all. The first story was